that you can hear me?
Yanis, we can hear you.
Okay.
Hi, Yanis.
Hi. Maybe let's wait a minute or two if someone will be returning from the break late. Okay, I think we can continue. Let me introduce myself. My name is Janez Misic, and I've been working in Speaker Technical Support team for almost 5 years now. In the next hour, I will show you some basics about users and badges in Time and Space Manager. First, we will look at how we can manage users. Then we will check how to manage badges. And at the end, we will see how to define access rights and access schedules. I believe this topic is much easier to understand than the one before the break, so we can take it as a warm-up for the next topic when you will continue with setting up a device administration portal with Boštjan. Let me now. I will turn off the camera so you can focus on the content. Okay. Okay. Let's start with our first chapter called Managing Users. First, click Users in the tree structure. To enter a new user, click the plus button, which opens the user window. User data is divided into 5 sections: general, profile, additional, personal, and additional fields. Let's first enter general data such as first name and last name. The fields named organizational unit, location, employment, and gender are used for data filtering, so you are recommended to fill in those fields. In addition, those fields can be used to restrict an operator which unit he can, in which unit he can't see. So we're gonna select those units. I'm currently working on a demo database. As you can see, when you will work on an empty database, you will have to name those three units. You can do that if you go to Tools, Options, and you will see those 3 units. You can name it however you want. You can use this for other units. We selected gender, employment, and location. Okay. If you want to add organizational hierarchy, you can do that. You have to go to users and then select user menu, and you can add or delete organizational units here. If you will select any other page, you will not have this user menu. So you have to go to users first and then user organizational hierarchy. Okay. Let's continue with our user. You can also add a photo to a user. To load user's photo from a file, click the folder button and browse the disk to find and load a photo. In the access section, enter data about the user's badge and his PIN code. Click the badge field to open the select badge window. If you haven't entered badge numbers yet, or you want to enter a new badge number, click the add button and fill in the badge number. Let's say okay. However, if you already have entered badge numbers, like in our case, this window displays the list of all available badge numbers. Select the badge number and press OK. Let us select one of them. If this badge number has a predefined access profile, the system will ask you if you want to take this predefined access profile. Okay. Let's check. You can, of course, you can update the user's profile even if you adopt the profile from the badge. We'll do that in next chapter. In the additional tab, displays the data about the user authorization in the system. Here it is possible to set or change authorization data for the user. In the message field, you can enter a custom user message. The entered message appears on the terminal screen when a user makes a clocking instead of first and last name. If a user needs more than one badge, you can add them under the additional badges section. The personal tab holds all personal data about the user: address, city, country, phone, mobile, birth date, and so on and so on. If you need to keep more data about the user, you can enter it on the additional fields tab. You can turn on or off the additional fields in the settings. If you go to tools, options, you will here in the second tab, you will see additional fields and you can enable or disable them. Okay, this is how you manually add a user to Time&Space Manager. Let's now check how to delete a user. To delete a user, simply left-click the user on the list and click the minus button. If you try to delete a user that has already made a clocking or has some other associated event, the program will ask you for confirmation. By clicking yes, you will delete the user and all his past events. So be careful when you do that. We rarely delete users from Time&Space because we need their past data for I don't know, in Slovenia we need to keep them for 5 or 10 years according to the law. To delete multiple users, simply pick them out by holding the Control key on your keyboard and left-clicking them at the same time. When you select all users you want to delete, just click the minus button. Again, you will lose all their data if you delete them. To edit a user, click him and click the pencil button, or simply double-click him, and then you can update him and confirm the changes with OK. You can also edit multiple users. Choose them by holding, again, Control key on your keyboard and left-clicking them at the same time. When all users are selected, click the pencil button. This will open the user window where you can edit a standard user, data such as organizational unit, location, employment, gender, those 3 units. You will name it however you will need. And access profile and additional fields. You can also edit multiple users if you right-click one of the selected and click Edit from the drop-down menu. On the top of the screen of the users page, you can use filter options to filter out your users. You can filter by organizational units, by location, those 3 units, location, employment, gender. You can filter out employees and visitors. You can filter by access groups and by readers or access points. Another thing we have to mention here is that you can search your users by different columns. To select a column, you want to search by, click on its header. So if I want to search by user, it is already selected with this sort icon. If you want to search by ID number, simply click on the header of this column and you will search by ID number. It is the same if you want to search by badge number. Sometimes this can be confusing because you are not aware that you selected column, for instance, I don't know, ID number, when you searched before, and you're trying to search by name. Let's say I'm trying to find Mel, and you will not find it because you are searching by ID number. So if this occurs occasionally when you're trying to search a user. And I believe that this is all I wanted to tell you in this chapter called Managing Users. Let's move on to next chapter and see how we can manage badges. Click badges in the tree structure. Badge numbers can be entered at any time, but we highly recommend that you enter them in connection with users, as we did it before when we created new user. You know, when you create a new user, you simply can add a badge for him. Or you can add badges when you are importing your users in bulk, like you did in the morning with Uroš, using the simple import model. Okay, however, you can always add badges one by one. To add a new badge, click the plus button and enter the badge number, as we did before. If there is no badge number printed on the badge when you're holding in your hands, make a clocking on any of your terminals with that badge. The badge number will be displayed in the Event Collector Manager or Device Administration Portal live log. Here you can set valid from and valid to dates, and you can create a tag for your badge or your badges. You can, on the access profile tab, you can enter a default access profile for that badge. This is not necessary, since you can assign the access profile later to a user who will use that badge. This option is usually used for receptionists who predefine the default profile. The profile becomes valid when the badge is assigned to a visitor or to an employee. So that's it. You can also insert a range of badges, multiple badges at a time. To do that, click these three lines and plus button, and enter the first and the last badge number. It is also possible to set valid from and valid to dates and access predefined access profiles for all the badges as described before. There are a few other things that you can do with a badge. Of course, you can edit it. To do that, simply double click a badge or mark a badge and use the pencil button. You can remove the badge from user. Simply mark it and remove the badge from user by clicking the person with X button. Another option is you can reset the badge. If you select one of the badges and click a reset badge, this action will remove all settings connected with the selected badge. So user access profile, valid from, valid to. Let's do that for one of the badges. We reset it totally. Okay. The last option is, of course, deleting a badge. You delete one badge if you mark it in the list and then click the minus button. Badges that are assigned to a user or an employee or a visitor cannot be deleted. If you try to delete an assigned badge, the program will display a warning message that you can't delete this badge and that this badge is in use. To delete multiple badges, simply pick them out by holding Ctrl key on your keyboard and clicking them, and then select the minus button. Again, you can only delete badges that are not in use. On the top of the screen, like in the users page, you can use the filter options to filter out your badges. You can filter by readers, by access groups. You can filter out used and available badges. And you can filter them by tags. Okay, this is all I wanted to show you in this chapter, managing badges. We can move to the last chapter called defining access rights and access schedules. Do we have any questions?
Yes, there are two questions here. Whether we can scroll the user list with a mouse. That is possible as far as I know, right?
Yes, you can scroll it. I'm scrolling with mouse.
Okay. And another question was whether you can insert a badge number with a desktop reader, card reader. That is also possible, right?
Yeah, you can connect the desk reader to USB, and then you can, when you're adding a badge, simply click the focus to badge number and scan the badge using the desk reader. This is possible, yes. Okay. Let's move on. As we already saw, we can define access rights if we open a user window. Where is our Jennifer? Here. If we open the user window, you can do that on the Profile tab. Here we can create a custom access profile for the user, which consists of access groups, included points and excluded points. You can now we have this demo database and we already have the data. However, you can create access groups if you go to access groups and areas here in the tree selection. We already have 3 access groups, standard buttons. You create a new access group, name it, choose points, and save it. Let's now check how we can create an access schedule. Boštjan did that before. For other purposes, you can go to space, time zones, access schedules. Simply, let's do this again. Simply click the plus button, name it, let's say afternoon schedule. It will be valid on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and let's say between 12 and midnight. Okay. Okay, we can now use this schedule to limit an access profile. Let's open Jennifer. So if we add a point, one reader to her, we can additionally limit it with this schedule. This means that Jennifer will be able to open the door with her badge only during the schedule. If she tries to open the door before or after the valid time period, the access will be denied. You can, of course, also use access schedules when you are creating groups, access groups. As you can see, you can go here and again select the schedule for the selected access profile. The limited points will be listed in brackets. You can see that the number 13 and 14 are limited by schedule. Okay, if you want to update access profile for more than one user at a time, you can mark them on the users list by holding the Control key on the keyboard and pick them with left click. Make sure that you select only users with a badge number, because you can update access profile only for users that have badge number. Then right click, as we saw before, and click edit, or use the pencil button and then move to profile. You can select the new access profile, and the important thing here is that you have to choose between updating and replacing the profile. If you select here in the drop-down, if you select update, then you will add the selection to the existing profile. If you select replace, then you will delete the existing profile and replace it with the new one. Okay. As Boštjan told you before, access schedules can also be used directly in device administration portal for opening the door between the hours specified on the schedule. Okay, maybe can tell that When you define a user access profile in the Time and Space Manager, like we did before, this only means that you store this access profile in the database. If everything is set up correctly, then Time and Space API service sends it to the devices automatically. As you probably know, when you try to open a door with a badge, access profile is checked locally from the device. So it is very important that when you define a user access profile, it is sent to the device. As I said, this is done by Time and Space API service. Address of this service must be entered in the Time and Space settings. Here, if you go to Tools, Options, and move to Space tab, here is the path, here is the address of the Time and Space API service. Typically, you write the host name or IP address, and followed by with port 1600. Also, you have to make sure that the service is running and that the device status in device administration portal is online. If all these conditions are met, then access profiles are automatically sent to your devices right after you define them in Time and Space Manager. Okay, do we have any more questions?
Here was one question. So when we create an access group, we can assign multiple readers to it, right? It's not just one single.
Yes, this is the whole idea. If I don't know if you want to, as we can see here, we have all points in one access group, and then we have an access group that contains only maybe one location of your company. If you have, I don't know, 3 locations or 4 or multiple locations, then you create these access groups and assign access groups. Only the access group you need to assign to a user who is in one location. I didn't mention before that you can also exclude some readers. So I don't know if this Ashlyn has access group all points. You can select for her and say, I want to exclude 1 point for her. So she will have those 4 points only. Any other question? As I said, this is not too difficult. I didn't expect too many questions. Maybe one thing with the Uroš, you initially imported users using the simple import model. You can also do corrections of your users using the simple import. Again, you will have to create a template. Let's check how this can be done. As Uroš already told you, you have to log in using the system account, my system account for that database. Demo database is yes. Okay, so I opened the simple import. If you are making corrections to your existing users, you have to make sure that you select corrections only when you are using the simple import. And then here on the right, you select which fields you are updating. So if we go to one, I don't know, specific case, here is the pre-prepared template that Uroš also used. when you are updating your users, you can use first name, last name, ID, or a badge for if to let's open the import again. The key fields that the simple import knows which data goes to who are ID, badge, or last name and first name. Mostly we use the ID or badge because if you use last name and first name, you get more mistakes because I don't know your employee is called Anthony and you call him Tony and you enter the Tony name instead of Anthony, and then you cannot import his data. Let's try to update somebody. Maybe we can select this Angeli or we will put in the template her ID 797, and let's say we will update her organizational unit. Organizational unit, let's say that it will be visual effects. Let's save this template. Import. Okay, let's open. You select the date, the correction date. Other selections aren't that important. The important thing is that you select corrections only and that you select organizational hierarchy. Because if you don't select that, you will override the data, her data, and you will and the data will be replaced with empty fields. If you preview, we can see visual effects. Okay, and let's say run. When you import, as Uroš mentioned before, the simple import logs is created. You can check there if there were any errors. If you go back here and click the refresh button, okay, I made something wrong. I should probably use the Jean, help me. I should probably use the number of the unit. Am I right?
Oh yes, we have to use the unit numbers. Yes.
Yes, the unit number. So I should use the number. Let's find it visual. This one. Am I right? So 1, 2.
Yes, that's the number. Yeah.
4, 5 zeros. Anyway. So we have to use this number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 6. Save. Okay, and let's do the import again. ID, run. And we can see that we updated her organizational unit. You cannot update all the fields. You can only update those fields that you have that are listed here: balance, overtime, vacation, badge, location, employment, and so on and so on. Most often we use this simple import for updates when we are importing vacation quota each year for all users. This is maybe the fastest way to import vacation quota for a year. Okay. Do we have any questions? No? Okay. If not, then maybe we will simply finish. I will let.
I have one question.
Yep.
Can we export users in the same format as import?
Not in the same format. However, we can export. We can create a report by clicking this printer button here. We decide which field we want on this report. Click OK, and we get a preview of the report. As you probably know, all reports can be exported to in Time&Space can be exported to Excel, PDF, and some other file extensions, and we can use Excel and then help with this with that Excel timesheet to create an import CSV file. If you click here that we want to export to Excel, you have to fill in this area print to file. Let's say that we are going to export to desktop. Training. Okay. Let me find it here. So if we training. And then you can help with this Excel to create a new CSV template for import.
Okay, and one additional question about import. When we have a name and first name, last name in one field, I have some problems with that to separate. And if we have, the middle name and something like that.
Well, do you mean when you export, you get only one?
No, when we import in the template, it used to have options to have a first name, last name in separate columns, or in one column, first name, last name. But what's happened when we have a middle name? All in one column.
Yes, these are three different columns in the database. So this one column is only a view in Time&Space Manager. So this Admin Stedman is in database. This is in two separate fields. Jean, can you help me? How is it with the middle name? Because we only use first name and last name when we are importing. Just a second.
We can optionally create a column called just name and blend together the first and last name and also the middle name in that case. But I'm not sure if you can import it as separate columns, as three separate columns.
Here we can see that we don't have the middle name as an option when we are importing, so we cannot import the middle name. Let me say that this simple import is going to be updated in the near future. And we'll be using another model, not simple import, and it will be much more flexible. You will be able to import all the fields, not only some of them, and you will be able to update all the fields and so on. I believe that this functionality will be available. I'm not sure if this year, but in the near future.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, in this case, we will finish, and I will let Bostian. Is Bostian with us? If not, then I will.
Yes,
I'm
here, but
okay.
I think we will start at 2:05.
Okay.
So, little break probably.
Okay, thank you for your attention. I'll be with you tomorrow. Again at 1 p.m. We will be going through the front space. Another, I think, relatively simple topic. Bostian will continue after the short break.
Hello.
Yes.
I'm back again.
Hi.
Someone have some question regarding zone platform configuration? Otherwise, we will finish too quickly.
I have one question, Boštjan.
Yes.
I have one wing that I use for testing. And when I connect now on the new database, this wing hold old badge numbers inside. It was not replaced automatically. Why not?
Yes, of course, because they're in the memory, and when you will connect it, when you will reconfigure and update profiles, it will delete all existing badges.
Yes,
because
but it's not done automatically.
Yes, but you have old wing. You have some old wing, you said.
Yes. Yes.
So it was connected to some other database with some other badges. And
yes, and when I connect to new database,
yes, you must reload profiles, because when you click reload profiles, the first command is delete. So when I click here reload profiles, the first command is to delete and then send everything.
Okay,
until you will not reload, the controller will still have old badges from some other system.
Okay, but I
Sorry, I was not sharing.
I thought it's automatically done.
No? Why? How? It's not automatically. It's the same when it's factory default, it's empty. It's not automatically until you connect it and made reconfiguration to send the knowledge how the controller must behave, and reload profiles to send profiles.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
So do you see my screen?
Yes. Yes.
Today we must continue with device administration portal, and again tomorrow morning for 1.5 hours. So maybe it would be fun if you prepare some questions for tomorrow morning. Many times it's more, you will learn more if you will see some example, you will see some problem, how to solve it, because you will be installing at the customers, you will be solving the problem. So maybe you should see some problems somewhere that you will know how to handle them. Okay, let's now, if there are no questions, let's jump to, do you see my screen? Yes?
Yes, we can see it.
Before I connected zone wing, I will now connect zone touch quickly. The same, I already showed you how to set up IP address on the zone wing. It's easier via display to entering setup, to just type the password and you are there, and to set up the IP. I will now enter it. I will enter zone. Okay, zone touch. Next. I will just type the IP address. It's this one. If I show you the screen, you see now, I don't know where this device were connected, and look, the date and the time is wrong. I will connect it now. There are some default settings. Let's see. Okay, it's online. Look, now the time is already set. Events are set. Keys. I have model with fingerprint. The touch also have a reader, so we can use both. Only finger, only badge, or both badge and verification with the finger. On zone touch, for the reader, you don't need to set anything, just events. Default event, that means this is event when you just approach the card, the badge, without selecting any key, or we have 4 buttons. On each you can set up to 4 events. I will set another 2 to the button 1. And it was automatically updated. Now, if we can check the screen. Look, the first key now have, I don't know how to show you. It's business departure. It was business departure, business arrival. And then I just place the card. And we have the event selection, selected event name, the name of the employee, and the balance hours returned from the system. On zone touch, okay, that's user interface. We can disable here entering into the setup on the device. Also, we have we can connect more readers here. When we connect zone door to the zone touch, we will receive also 2 readers. I can create 1 zone door. It's the same connected to via CAN. Let's generate this one. So zone touch will get an additional 2 readers, and basically we can make a registration here. On the reader 2, open 1 door. On the reader 3, open 2nd door, or with all readers the same door. Does not matter. But on these 2 additional readers, I can set just 1 event, just maybe pass, like just for opening the door, and or time event with opening the door. Okay, I was talking till now more of on hardware. Maybe better if I start also for setting the software. What's the difference? If you want that your reader, does not matter if it's reader, it's reader in the zone touch integrated reader or is external reader mounted on the door. Every time here in device administration portal, the settings is named user interface. And when you set events, this parameter verify access defines if this key or reader will be able to activate output. So if there is no access, the reader will not activate the output. So now when I created zone door and if here I have verify access, this event, this reader can activate the output relay on the zone door. The same on the zone wing. I have just pass. I could change it, for example, to arrival and remove this option. With this reader, I will now just register, user will just register arrival, but the door will not open. This reader is not able to trigger the relay output anymore because we are not checking access rights that user must have to open the door. Okay, I will back. On zone touch. The same here when I created the zone door, I have inputs. I can, because I have zone door, I can connect inputs, push buttons, and so on, sensors. I have outputs to control the electromagnetic lock or some other device. I have some alarms, the same like on zone wing controller. It's basically the same, just but just for maybe two-sided door control. But keep in mind that now your controller is on the unsafe side of the doors. So zone touch will be probably on the outside when you are entering. And with this controller, you are opening the doors. So the controller is on the unsafe side. In this case, please mount zone door outside in the room that it's on the safe side. So if someone is doing something with the zone touch, the door, he will not be able to open the door because the zone door unit is on the safe side in the room. Basically, settings are the same, but just for 2-3 readers on the device. Okay, let's return a little bit to zone wing. And I will show you this batch encoding. What can be, yes.
Sorry, can we disable the balance display on the zone touch?
Yes, we can. Okay, let me just finish here and then I will return to that. Because tomorrow morning we have also 1.5 hours on device administration portal, but and by the plan there are again inputs, outputs, alarm configuration, anti-pass back, but this we will hear already today. So tomorrow I will go maybe a little bit deeply on the configuration, on debugging, that you will know what to set, how to look, where to look for errors, what to do if there are some problems at the customers. But okay, I will show you this disabling the balance hours also today. Okay, let's now try with this batch encoding on the zone wing controller. Let's test first now. Just a second. It was timeout. Rejected. Okay, doesn't matter. Let's try another card. Unknown user again. Okay. Look, here what we have. Badge encoding legacy mode. That's probably from Spitzer history, because every partner, HID partner, where we are buying this HID I-Class and Indala, all the Indala cards, receive some facility codes. Some other partner cannot get badges with the same facility code as we are. So this legacy mode means that the controller will work on the old way. So these few facility codes that we buy from the HID are built in the system, and we are cutting facility code. So if you have some other badges with your own facility code, maybe better if you set this option, that it will append badge number and facility code. Let's see what badge number will be read with this card. Look, it's the same card as this one. Now also our facility code was appended before the serial number. And from this card, that is some okay, it's facility code 763 without zeros, and serial number of the card, this one. Sorry, zone wing. Or we can set some, I don't know, facility code 2, for example, and we will check what will happen now. Okay, now because my serial number was already 6 digits long, but not for this. This was 5 digits, but because I set 6, it's 0 here, and also just 2 numbers from facility code. It's not 762, but just 62 because I selected the length of 2. Okay, you can set here if you want to have some other kind of readings, and you set your own. You cut your badge numbers. I'll set it back. Let's see. Okay, I'm already in mode before. Let's try now. Are there any questions? Okay, we will jump a little bit because I got questions regarding this showing balance hours on the zone touch. Just a second. There are some settings you can check in the device administration portal manual. Needs to be done in the configuration files. One of them is this device communicator service configuration file, and maybe this one event processor configuration file. I will open it with some text editor. Parameters as described in the manuals, so check there. But look here, we have setting for clocking responses, and we can disable show balance on clocking. Let me just first show you the response now. I don't know if you saw it, but there are balance 122 or something. It's yes, 122 or and something, and we can disable it here. Balance on clocking to 0. I have to save it because I don't have right. Save it to desktop. Move it back to copy file. And I should now restart the service. I have a Time&Space event processor. It will be quicker here if I stop all services, start them all. There are also some other settings. You can disable showing balance or vacation days on info key, enable some counter customly made in Time&Space, and the number of these counters that you have. Okay, let's check now if devices are online. Yes, they are online. And look, there are no balance information anymore, just arrival and the user's name. Okay, I will set it back just not to have problems next time. Always you can check what is going on in the log files. Device in this live log will be shown here in device communicator log files, in logs, in protocol log, and we can check what is going on. We have arrival and the name. user's badge number, and before, look, before the service restart, the system sent also balance hours, but not now, when I change the parameter for not showing, for not sending balance hours. So many times you can check in logs what is going on, why is something not working. You can see what the system is sending to the device. Okay, now let's try now to set up anti-passback. Anti-passback works locally on the controller. So if I have only 2 readers on the zoning controller, I can set it only on these 2 readers. But if I will connect, I don't know, 16 zone doors, each will have 2 readers, that means 32 readers. I can create anti-passback zones between these 32 readers. I will just set quickly 2 different anti-passbacks. First, I will set anti-passback only on reader 1. That it's not allowing me 2 registrations for the same user. I don't know, in 2 minutes or in 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, the user can register again, can clock again. So sorry, register can enter the building again. This is useful maybe for some parking places that you are preventing sharing the same badge to between the users, that they cannot drive in with a car with the same badge. I will just create here, name the anti-passback. I will set, for example, I don't know, 5 minutes, means that in 5 minutes I'm not able to enter twice. I will set just I will check just entry. I'll create anti-passback and set up the reader. Just one reader, it will be first reader. Okay, let's now see the live log. First reader, okay, no. No writes probably. Wrong card. I'll set writes to all readers. Okay. Clocking successful, door opened. And now again, ejected access because I was quicker than in 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, I will be able to open the door with the same badge again. I can show you. Sorry, I cannot show you. It's rejecting now. Okay, let's maybe set up now a different anti-passback. Now I will check entry and exit. So reader must enter on reader 1. User must enter on reader 1 and go out on reader 2. Okay. Let's see now. Nope. Maybe still the anti-pass back from before is still active. Okay. I have a little bit problem with setting this anti-pass back. Of course, because I made arrival already before and user had to exit first. Okay, now on first reader, look, the door opened. Again, it's rejecting. Exit reader, door opens. Second time on exit, it will not open. I must enter again and exit again. Okay, I'm triggering different outputs with two readers. I could trigger the same output with both readers. I can set up here that both readers will trigger both output, for example. So enter, exit. I cannot exit second time. I must enter first. I cannot enter second time. I must exit first. And so on. So if you have, for example, 32 readers on zone wing, you can create your own rules, own zones where users and how can enter and exit. Okay, I will delete this one. Are there any questions on anti-pass back? Jean? No questions.
No, there are no questions in the chat.
Maybe you have some.
Yes, if I'm not mistaken, there is also an option to limit the anti-pass back zones to user groups, but this is an addition to the default system.
Let me see. I never set it.
I think you need to have a special firmware on the controller.
Okay, that's a custom solution then.
Yeah.
It's a custom solution, so it's for limit users based on special parameter set on the user, like here, zone restrictions, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But there, this is custom made, and some okay must be ordered specially. Okay, let's check what we have here. We already saw the zone touch, zone wing, zone spot. I don't know if there's a need to check everything on the zone spot. It's basically this zone spot functionality is almost the same as this couple, zone wing and zone door. They are it's just in one box, useful for small installations. Jean, do you have any question or suggestion what to show also?
There is one new question here. Small installation means how many doors?
I mean small installation with zone spot. It means if you need just to control two doors or two-sided one door, it's easier to mount zone spot than wing and door. But if you are planning to extend the system with more doors in the same hall or this in the same floor in the building, maybe better if you take zone wing, so you'll just extend with the zone door unit. But if you are controlling, I know, one door here, one door, I know, in another building, it's maybe better to use zone spot. Easier to mount, easier to connect, no need for CAN wirings.
There is another question. If we have a zone spot, can we add a zone door to it?
No, you cannot. Zone door is basically built-in zone spot, so you cannot. In that case, take zone wing and extend with desired number of zone doors.
There is another question here. Zone door, zone wing. Can we use two zone spots instead?
Two zone wing.
No, actually, we have a requirement like two zone wings and two doors to be activated. Instead of that, can we go with the zone spot? Our old system is like zone wing and zone door we are using.
Yes, if you need to control just two doors or
yes.
one door with two readers, you take zone spot. But keep in mind that you will not be able to extend this. If you were planning to control another doors somewhere near, you will have to use another zone spot. But if you take zone wing, you will just connect zone door and extend to that door.
Now we have zone wing and zone door. So can I want two doors to be installed, two readers to be installed in each door. So total 4 readers is required. So instead of
4 readers, total
yeah.
4 readers are requested. Then you will need two
zones.
Yeah, two zone doors.
Okay.
You said that you have zone wing.
Yes,
and
we have
one zone door. So just extend with the additional zone door.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Just connect it in series on CAN on CAN line, and that's it. Just add device here, additional device, zone door, select the configuration, and that's it. You are controlling with the same controller. You will control the and set, of course, set address with deep switch. And of course, on the last zone door, you must terminate the line with the last 8 deep switch. Check. You can check in the zone wing manual.
Okay.
Another question is, what are the limitations of zone wing? So
limitations in what?
Probably how many zone doors can be?
You can have 32 zone doors. So basically 64 readers. But there are some other limitations. I know that there are somewhere here in the manual. Maybe if you, I don't know how you will set if every zone door will have the same configuration. 2 readers, 2 inputs, 4 outputs, or maybe you will use some other configuration that you will need more inputs and outputs. And there are some limitations somewhere that I think only 64 yes, that you can define only, look, 64 inputs and outputs. So take, for example, if we use this configuration, the fourth one, 0 readers, 10 inputs, 4 outputs, and if I will connect 7 zone doors with this configuration, that means that I'm able to set up basically 70 inputs, but limitations is 64. So the last 6 will not work. So keep in mind, if you will define like this, you will be able to define only 64 inputs here, not 70. But this is really maximum configuration. So I'm suggesting you not to go with maximum, because zone wing is the brain. So if it fails, how many doors will stop opening? 32 or more. So better to minimize to, I don't know, maybe 10 doors per controller. Do not equip one building with one controller and connect 64 doors to one controller. In that case, one building will be closed or opened.
Okay, there is another question about the wiring. How long cable length can be supported by CAN bus?
I think that CAN bus, we can Google it, CAN bus length. I think it's 1000 meters or so. Can cable. Yeah, look, it's 1 kilometer. But wire ground also. This is standard, but this is really maximum. So I don't recommend you to go with maximum distance.
And the related question is, to achieve maximum length of CAN bus connection, which cable is suitable?
Probably you will use the UTP. not FTP. I think there's a section in the manual for that also.
And there is also another question. What is the maximum distance between two neighboring zone doors in the line? The maximum distance.
Maximum distance zone doors. It's the same. Basically, this is the same questions.
Yes,
So,
basically.
Yeah, it's the same. So you can have 5 zone doors in one box. And the 6th zone door will be, I don't know, 500 meters somewhere else.
And the same goes for zone wing to the last zone door. It's the same limitation.
Yes, from the zone wing, yes, from the zone wing to the last zone door, yeah. Yeah.
And there another one, if zone wing fails, will the zone doors still work?
No, because all the brains are in zone wing. Zone door is just input-output unit. It will not work anything. It will not, even the reader will not read anything. I can show you. Look, let's. Okay, now I know I've. Okay, it's opening now. I will disconnect the CAN wire here from the zone wing to zone door. I disconnected CAN low. It's not even reading because reader is sending over VGAND protocol to the zone door, and zone door just sends to the wing, and wing is making the decision. Okay, I'm connecting it now. So that's why do not connect. I suggest not to connect one wing and 32 zone doors. If zone wing fails, everything goes. Some other questions? Look, now I have 2 zone doors created. Okay, I have only one, but you can control with any reader in this configuration on this controller. You can control any output. So you can control with the first reader the last output. If you have 64, you can connect, control the first reader from one building. You can open the door in the second building on the last zone door on last output. Just select the activator. Are there some other questions, maybe?
And you suggested to connect a maximum of 10 zone doors, right?
Maybe, but you will see on the field what are the requirements, and if maybe fails, or there will be, I don't know, power loss, power supply will fail, how many doors will be opened. So use the UPS units for wing controllers and so on. But we see that from experience that this number is about 10. usability is maybe a little bit better than also.
And there is another question. So you can connect zone doors in a series, or you can connect all of them to zone wing directly.
No, it must be in series. You cannot connect like a star connection. It must be in a series.
Okay.
Must be.
Is there an option for a power over Ethernet powered zone wing?
No. For zone wing, no. For zone spot, yes. Zone spot and zone touch, yes, they are powered over Ethernet, but not zone wing. For zone wing, let's say you will have 10 zone doors, how you will power them? Not with power over Ethernet. Consumption for the readers, for the electromagnetic locks will be too high. So you cannot do that. For smaller locations, with 2 readers, you can use zone spot and power over Ethernet. Okay, then maybe we are finished today. Tomorrow morning at 9 Central European time, I will continue with the device administration portal. You can prepare some questions. Maybe tomorrow we will go a little bit deeply in debugging, in how to solve the problems, which you will have on the field, in the field, and answer your questions. It's harder like this when we cannot talk in person, when I cannot show you on your computer, on your desk, when you are connecting and you have problems. So I'm just assuming that everything, if you install today everything and you connected everything, that everything was working fine. Okay, then that's it from today, from my side, and we will hear tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Okay, thank you for your participation today. So as Boshti said, see you tomorrow and don't be late, please.